Okay, I'm about to try to make some bread. And I can't find my favorite bread recipe that I had before I moved into this new mobile home. If you've been watching my mobile home moving to Oregon videos, check those out. So I'm kind of winging it because I'm looking on YouTube and there are so many recipes that I'm going to spend hours finding a recipe, and I keep finding ones that look like they're right, then they're not right, because I have such a finicky diet. So I'm going to try to do this by memory and kind of wing it. So I did this the other day, not on camera, and it didn't turn out so good, but I did it with lentils. It turned out, it tasted good, but it did not hold together like regular bread. So I'm going to try something different. I'm going to try to mimic what I've done before by memory, and my memory's not always so good these days, so let's see how this works. So I want to use up this flour that I've had. I need to use it up. So this is a mixture, I think, of cassava flour, tiger nut flour, and oat flour that I had made before. So I'm not putting that in yet. So you can see this clump in here. You can see it, but I can't move this because, let's see. So there's a clump, black clump. That's chia seeds that have been soaking. And they tend to mimic eggs, but it helps if I add some baking powder. Let's see, I'm gonna get so I'm gonna put a little bit of, I'm just eyeballing everything. A little bit of baking powder, about a teaspoon. And a little bit of xanthan gum. I always save these little scoopers because they come in handy for things like this. So a little bit of xanthan gum. That will also help hold it together. Don't need much. And now I need to get something to stir this up. So you're going to experiment with this one with me. We don't know how it's going to turn out. But this is the reality of trying to make bread when you have a specific diet. So it has to be vegan. I put the yeast in there. It has to be grain-free. I put a little bit of apple cider vinegar. Oh, hopefully that's not too much. A little bit of sugar, but in my case this is xylitol because I'm not supposed to have regular sugar. A little bit of oil. couple tablespoons of oil. And now we have the concoction that we want. Now we'll put in the dry ingredients. Well, the flours anyway. So we're going to do a couple of cups of flour. I don't know why it bothers me when everything gets on the top of here. It doesn't really mix if it gets stuck up there, I guess that's... So let's see how this mixes up. See, oh, that's actually firming up quite well. Make sure we get all the goodies off the side. Oh. Okay, next, I think we're done with this stuff. And I'm gonna have to make more flour. Okay. Let's get our pan. So I went to the thrift store and I got a new red pan. So I'm going to try this out. It's going to take a little longer. I got to preheat the oven. Okay, we preheated the oven. So now I'm going to get the parchment paper. And put it this way so that we can just lift it out. Okay, it will go in there. I've tried the whole scrunching thing. It doesn't seem to make a whole lot of difference. Oops. Except if you keep bumping it. This thing's hard to get off of there. Okay, we're done with the base. Now we're going to put this in our loaf pan. Spread it around. I'm gonna have to get another spoon to get the rest of that out. The fork isn't really working. This is where I have to I'm gonna pull my little center thing out. Okay. All over my hand. Definitely gonna stick together because it's sticking to the spoon real good. I like to make it sort of light, like a sweet bread, but also like a regular bread. So we're gonna see how this turns out. Gonna let it rest for about an hour since it's got the yeast in it. Get nice and even in the pan. Okay, we are going to get a clean rag to cover. We're going to cover this and come back in about an hour. Which means I preheated the oven too soon, so we'll be back. Hi guys, it got cold today. Anyway, my bread is done and it looks pretty good and it feels like it might be okay, so let's check it out, see how it turned out. Okay, so let's check out the bread. All right. I got some dishes to work on. I'm making the bread still. I had to go lay down because I have chronic pain. If you watched any of my other videos, I can't, some days it's like I cook or clean. I sometimes can't do both. So when I do get the cleaning done, it just takes me longer. So here's the bread. A little dense, not really too good for sandwiches, I guess. It's dense. Problem with grain-free and gluten-free breads is you see it could have baked a little longer. The lighting's not too good. Can't really tell, but see it's very dense in there. So it's not gonna work as sandwich bread. So what I'm gonna make it into is go. See, it's very, very soft and dense. So I'm going to make it into small, thick slices. It'll still work. I'm not going to get much out of it. If I can cut it this way, if I cut it this way, you can see it's not going to And I guess it would still work. It's just, there'll be, and then I can toast it up in the toaster oven. So it's gonna make very small pieces of bread, which I guess are okay. I could do it either way. I can use these for something. And it has a pocket. There's a pocket. So we'll have to try this again another time. Another day. Let's see, I'm gonna taste it. Yeah. I should have left it in just a little bit longer. And I think I needed more egg, vegan egg, or maybe some more yeast. It wants to fall apart. The knife's getting sticky. Eh. Well, yeah, I have some kind of bread anyway. I like the reused bread bags, so. Still warm. So I'm gonna put it in here, but I'm not gonna seal it up. I think it should air out more. I'm gonna try toasting that. See what happens. Okay, so let this air out. Let that air out. Okay, that's the bread. So toasting it helped. It dried out the middle. So actually this bread might turn out to be okay. So get a plate and put some I'm making more dishes. I guess I need to wash my dishes. So let's put a little bit of, that's probably too much for that little piece of bread. My vegan cream cheese, a little bit more. Yummy. Not bad. It toasts up pretty well. It's gonna work. I might still need to adjust the recipe, but good. Now I'm going to attempt to clean up my mess.